Hi, my name is Amy.
Hi, I'm Lanan.
And welcome back to Bingeable Beans.
Okay, so today we're going to continue talking about My Name, the second half of it.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the first one, go ahead and watch that one first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot is compacted into this whole K-drama in general, but especially this second one. We start off the second half by Ji-woo and Pido. They're getting crushed in this car machine thing.
Yeah. So Gongchae like catches them, and then he decides like, oh, they're gonna get killed by like this crusher, right? This like car crusher thing, and they're stuck in there. And this scene is like so intense, like we thought they were gonna die.
Yeah. I at the time I was like, is someone really gonna die? Because they were main characters too. But the scene was so serious, and it was the crusher was coming down, so like it just kept going down and down and down. There's like no space left now.
And they were trying to get out. They were smashing the door. Like they were doing everything they can. But at the same time, they're injured, you know? Because like Gongchae like and their gang like beat them up, you know?
Yeah. I for a second thought they were done for. But then Moojin comes and saves them. He stops the machine or whatever. And after this whole situation, they come out alive, right? After the whole thing, Moojin, he starts like gathering this like passport and money, and then he calls Ji-woo and he's telling her like, okay, like get out of the country, this and that.
Just give up, just go away.
Yeah, go to because he
feels bad.
Yeah, he also like he freaks out. He has this outburst. He was like, oh, that he almost killed Ji-woo. You know?
Yeah.
And I had a question about that. Do you think he did that? Like he was telling her to leave because he genuinely cared for her? Like there was concern. At this point, he's grown attached to her and he's concerned for her? Or was it because he didn't want someone else to kill her? He wanted to kill her himself.
I guess because like they built the bond together, right? And like I guess like he felt attachment to her.
Yeah.
And that's why he went out of his way where he could have like blew his own cover.
Yeah.
Because he had to run away right away after he like crashed the car into the machine because the police were coming. But like, why did he do all that? And I think it's because of the bond and attachment he had with her. Yeah. And because in the other way around too, because Ji-woo would do the same for him.
Yeah. Ji-woo has done the same for him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I do agree too. I think it is genuine concern. I think he's giving her like an option to escape, even though he had this revenge. Like we now know after watching the whole show that he has this plan, you know, to turn her into whatever. But yeah, because of the bond, I think you could see it in his face too.
Yeah.
And a big point that made me like my answer like solidified. That question was whenever he called her and she told him no, his face kind of like he didn't say anything back. He kind of just accepted it. If let's say he was still like, wanting to kill her and like this evil plan, he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he would have been like, no, you're leaving. One way or another.
Yeah,
really. But he was just kind of like sat back and accepted it.
At the same time, it's because he can't really control her. He knows how her motive. Her
but he could have killed her right then and there.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like he could have done something for sure to force her to leave, kidnap her.
Yeah,
you know, if that was still his motive. But I do think that was the situation.
Then we fast forward. So after that car crash scene and like they get saved, she goes to the hospital. The cops now find out it's Gongchae. So his face is like up in the air. He's wanted and he's behind the bushes, right? And so then he's like nervous, right? His face is, he's like hiding behind the bushes. He just wants to be free. He calls the cops. Hey, like I know you, like I'm wanted, but like if I turn myself in, or like I hope you catch Moojin, kind of thing. Like we can work together to get Moojin.
Yeah, because he said it too. He was like, I know you want Moojin.
Yeah,
I can help you. I can help you catch Moojin.
Yeah, in return for him to like
be let go.
So and they agreed because
so basically Gongchae was using that whole situation and using the cops to his advantage there.
Yeah, to also catch Moojin.
Yeah, to lure Moojin into this battle because remember, like that's Gongchae's like biggest motivation that pushes him with his own gang and everything.
Yeah, his whole life purpose.
Yeah, it's like
get revenge.
Get revenge. Like have his own gang be stronger and better
than Moojin.
Than Moojin's gang. This gang that rejected him, that threw him to the side basically.
Yeah.
And so this was his way of luring him, because I don't think Moojin would have accepted it, the battle, because it's like just like a side thing. Like why would he fight?
But the thing is that triggered him to want to do it is because he's like, oh, this annoying like roach, because like he was the one that like attacked his territory, his gym.
Yes,
I think that was like part of it that triggered him to continue with this like stupid war.
Ji-woo's thing too, because
her being crushed, right? Almost getting crushed.
Yeah, and basically it's like his ego, Moojin's ego is a little like dented.
Yeah. So basically, this war was a win-win for the cops and for Gumjae.
Yes.
So the war happens, right? So everyone's like the Gumjae's team and then Moojin's gang. They're all fighting each other. Then we see that Gumjae and Moojin, they're off battling one-on-one together, right? And because like they're like off by themselves, they want Moojin, right? So they have like Jiwoo following them. They had the Captain Cha following them,
Moojin,
and then Pildo comes later.
Yeah.
But I guess to the point where Jiwoo is like at the scene, right? She has the gun and she's like pointing at Gumjae because Moojin's injured and she wants Moojin to run away.
Yes.
So Moojin runs away, right? He runs away and then she's pointing at the gun to Gumjae and like Gumjae's like going crazy, right? He's like saying the triggering things, but like she hasn't even shot him yet, right? Until Pildo in the background, he comes in and then like that's when Gumjae's like, oh, this is my chance. He's like, oh, I have a witness.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a witness because like she can't shoot him if because she's a cop.
And that's why he said like, oh, I'll confess everything. And
Yeah.
because him saying that would give her no reason or right to shoot him. She would
Yeah.
just be a murderer. And he has a perfect witness there too.
Yeah.
That's why he said that. And so she did hesitate. And then Peter as well was like, calm down, this and that, you know?
Oh, I remember why I was confused because like why didn't she shoot her whenever Pildo wasn't there? But I think she was just like shooken up in the moment. She was just like, oh my god, this is triggering like this mother effer, you know?
Yeah, it definitely, I think it was triggering for sure.
That's why she didn't shoot. She didn't do anything yet until she shot him only because in the moment Gumjae was about to reveal her real identity.
Yeah.
And then she shot him.
Yeah.
And he died. Gumjae dies.
Yes.
And then, so Moojin runs away, and he runs away to a temple where he gets treated.
Yeah.
Right? And then
a lot actually goes down during his time at the temple. A lot of different factors twist and change during this. So when he's there and he's like healing and whatnot, Taeju.
Moojin calls Taeju, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But before this though,
Okay.
Jiwoo gets this letter that just like sent to her door, and then she opens it and she finds this picture of her dad. It's like her dad in a group photo, and they're all cops. And then
She's
like-
confused.
she's very confused. She's
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean? It's not lining up with
The timing.
and with what Moojin has told her."
Yeah.
as well. Because her whole life she thought that he was part of the gang, he was a
Yeah.
gang member, right? And so now she's confused, and that's when she goes and questions. She confronts Moojin at the temple, and she questions him, and he gives her these like crocodile tears.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh, this is the reason why, like,
Yes.
like he felt betrayed or something like that. Like,
Yeah, he explained the whole situation in a deceiving way. He was saying,
oh yeah,
like,
that her dad became on his side. Went on
Yes.
his side. Yeah.
yes. And then like he was saying Captain Cha was mad because he left his side, he joined my side. That's why Captain Cha killed him. You know? And Moojin thought he ate with that. And he thought he won her over, right?
Yeah.
But then I mean, for a brief second, I think she was like...
But she was still
"Oh."
hesitating.
Yeah, she was. She definitely was still questioning. Right after she leaves, though, that's when Moojin calls Taeju. And then...
Yes, yeah. So he's like, Moojin calls Taeju to like, I don't think Jiwoo could do the job, basically like killing Captain Cha.
Yes.
Yeah. So because they needed to kill Captain Cha because Captain Cha was on to Moojin.
Yes.
And then...
and it's getting like very close too, because now Captain Cha has a reason to actually arrest him.
Yeah.
Because for the death of Gangchae, right?
Yeah.
So Captain Cha has to go now.
And also, like, I feel like if he was still there, I think Ji will find out, like, eventually.
Yes.
Yes.
So he needs to get rid of the one person that could ruin all his plans.
Yeah. So Taeju comes to his apartment, right? To Captain Cha's apartment, and then he like stabs him, hoping that like he would die right away, right?
Yeah.
But then like Taeju runs away, and then Jiwoo comes in after, and that's when she finds out like more evidence, more pictures, right?
Well, okay. So what happened was whenever she went and confronted Captain Cha,
Yeah.
she was questioning him.
Yeah.
And then depending on his answer, then she was gonna kill him or not.
Yeah, because like she was originally gonna kill him right away, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then now, because with the new situation with Moojin, she's questioning him.
Yeah.
And that's when Captain Cha realizes who she is. Oh, and the moment that he realizes, you can see it in his face that he's so broken for her and her dad.
Oh yeah, he was
He's the very
so
first one
devastated,
that
yeah.
realizes the whole twisted situation.
Yeah.
So I felt really, really bad for him because, first of all, he was the one that lost a friend. You know?
Jiwoo's dad.
Yes.
Yeah,
Captain Cha
yeah.
lost Jiwoo's dad. And he was the one that's responsible. Captain Cha was responsible for it because Captain Cha sent him into it. So he's already heartbroken about this. His whole life now is he's trying to catch Moojin.
Yeah, it took him so long.
And now he realizes his friend Jiwoo's dad, or he realized his friend's daughter is in this situation.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. He's like feeling sorry, even though he's dying on the floor. He's like, I'm so sorry, Jiwoo. Like you went through all this. Like he got you. Mujin got you.
Yeah, like he didn't know. Captain Cha didn't know about her kind of a thing, so he wasn't able to help.
But then Pyo-do like is like at the door because he's like. He was the one that dropped off Captain Cha at the house because they were drinking before this, and like he dropped him off. And then Pyo-do was opening the door, so she had to run away right away. But then before Captain Cha like could say anything else, he said his last words to her and like, here, just grab this backpack and run, go away. You know,
that backpack then had all the information about her dad's case. So she finds the truth, right? Yeah. That her dad this whole time was not actually a gang member. He was a cop. And
undercover.
A cop undercover. He was just pretending to be part of this gang. He was pretending to be Mujin's best friend.
And then she reads her dad's letter and she's like driving, right? And then she's just like so heartbroken.
And then like the thing that's like even more twisted is she became someone that her dad
didn't want her to be.
Or he didn't like in general, you know?
Oh, okay.
The type of person that he was trying to catch.
Okay. Finally finds out that Mujin is the killer. Mujin turns himself in.
Yeah. So after she finds out, Mujin, on the other hand, he leaves the temple, and from the temple he goes straight to the station to turn himself in.
He just pulls up, like they're like, "Whoa, okay, Mujin, like turn yourself in, I guess, you know."
Yeah.
And then
it's like easier for us.
Yeah, because they have evidence, right? They had the fingerprints on the knife.
Yes.
Yeah. So they wanted to get Mujin. So
they did. During this time, while he is like turning himself in, Jiwoo, on the other hand, she's decided she's gonna do something. She was packing her things up, right?
Yeah.
And she was getting ready to. I'm pretty sure what she was planning was like, oh, now she's gonna go find Mujin and kill him.
Yeah.
And like a whole shebang there. So, but as she was packing her things up, Taeju decides to come kill her.
Yeah, I think on his own. Like he did that not because Mujin wanted him to. He just wanted to do that because this whole time Taeju didn't like Jiwoo at all from the start. And I think he like...
Well, I think his reasoning was like he'd always be questioning...
Her motive.
And then he'd question Mujin as well, you know? I think what it was is Taeju, the whole time thinking in his head, he's like, why are you dragging this out so long?
And like, oh, let me do this on my own. Like, let me help you.
He was like, let me just do it then. Yeah. He's just kind of getting in the way.
Yeah.
And Taeju... And we know that the reason he dragged it out so long was because he has this like bond with her now.
Oh. Yeah.
I think what it is that like in Mujin's head.
Yeah.
Because remember he said like, oh, I deceived her. He thought he succeeded in it.
Yeah.
He probably thought that he would be able to keep her by his side for like forever. I think that's what he wanted.
Yeah. I think it was like two things. So like, I think what he would tell his assistants and stuff, like, oh, I'm going to use her. But part of it is because he's attached to her.
Yeah. It kind of almost like his daughter now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they did have a bond, like a genuine bond.
Yeah, like she would care for him. She got the tea for him because he like wasn't able to sleep, and yeah, like he genuinely did get concerned for her after the Gangjae situation the first time, right? And I think he was hoping that she wouldn't turn out like how her dad did,
like betraying him.
Yeah, him, like end up flipping. That's why there were so many moments where he trying to like reassure that, oh, she's not betraying him, like, oh, she is on my side.
Even though it's like kind of like messed up for him to use her in a way, like, oh, I hope she never finds out the truth to not like betray him. But like,
it's because first of all, he has no one else really. Yeah, he has Taeju, but it is like another person, you know, that cares for him. You kind of want to hang on to her.
Yeah, stop that, like where he turns himself in, right? Okay, so then like that's when Jiwoo finds out, and then like Jiwoo, she's jumped by Taeju. Did we talk about how she beats up the whole gang?
Yeah, okay.
So there's like a couple of guys that like jump her, but then she obviously plot armor beats them up, and then she is like now one-on-one with Taeju, and then Taeju is like,
he also confronts her and tells her a tad bit more about her dad too. He's like, oh your dad never belonged in this ring, you know, it wasn't for him, kind of thing. And
it's just like petty like talk argument kind of thing, not argument, but it was like petty talk, because then at the end, like whenever she was about to stab him, she was like, oh, like you guys are not like human, like, and he was like, what about you, like are you still human, you know what I mean? Like she's basically calling him a monster, but Taeju was like, aren't you a monster too? Yeah, like you turned into a monster. Yeah, so
Taeju kind of hangs on to the fact, because we have to remember that during that time, like those years back when Mujin was close with Jiwoo's dad, Taeju was there too. Taeju was also close to that. So he also felt that betrayal too. Yeah. So that's why he's like holding on to it. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Taeju dies.
And during this whole time, Mujin is still at the station.
Yeah.
And so after Jiwoo kills Taeju, she goes straight to the station and
Yeah.
then she confronts Mujin now.
Yeah.
And then
She's basically saying in front of him, like, we have evidence. Like, at first we were led to believe that she was gonna arrest him because they have evidence of his fingerprints on the knife, but they were still like saying that, oh, he's innocent. Mujin was like saying, I'm innocent still, even though there was evidence on the knife. Sorry. So that's what she was saying, like, you're never gonna get out of this, whatever. Okay, fast forward. Before I get to that point, she like thanks Pildo for the last time, right? And we're just like, oh, like, why is she thanking him? But then we find out it's because she takes the knife, the evidence, she goes in, and then she like kind of like runs away with it, right? At the same time, whenever she was trying to get rid of the knife, right, they found out like she was at the crime scene where Captain Cha dies.
And they find out that
or dies, not yet.
he doesn't die. He doesn't die. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
But they find out like her fake identity.
Yeah.
Fake identity. Yeah.
Because they see like CTV camera where she's like getting into the car, her tumbling down the stairs, like from Captain Cha's apartment. Like, oh my God, that's her license plate. That's her. And then that's when Pildo was like, what the heck? And they were like trying to catch her, right? And she was like running out of the, what's it called? The station? The cop station? The police station?
Mm-hmm. I think also, backtrack just a tad bit to whenever she said thank you to Pildo.
Yeah.
I think she was saying that because she knew this is like the end of everything.
But she was genuine when she said, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. She said it at that time because she knew like it's now or never.
Yeah.
Because stuff is about to happen.
Yeah.
She knows that like either she will die or she'll get arrested for killing.
Yeah.
She knows that.
Because she knows what she was about to do.
Yeah, she knows what she's gonna get herself into.
Yeah. So she was, but she really was thankful for him, you know. So she just thanked. Yeah. So like she runs away, right? And then she throws away the knife.
Yes.
And
she threw the knife away.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to kill Mujin, not just get arrested. That's the big thing.
This is the part I'm like, oh, she could have just like left him like to go to jail because they had like hard evidence.
But we do get to that.
Okay.
Could have done that, right? But then she chose this route of killing him because that's her motive in the first place. You have to remember the show starts off.
Yeah.
And everything gets interested and gets up and going because she wants to kill her dad's killer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yes.
She's going to kill the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then because, like you said, the cops find out her identity and everything. Now, Peter is after her. He's betrayed.
Yeah.
You know, he's like
confused at the same time.
He's like, what was that thank you even about? Was that all fake? Was all of this fake? What do you mean? Like, that's not her real name. Mm-hmm. So now he's infuriated. He's determined to catch her. Yeah. And he catches her.
Yeah.
From there, she's caught. And then Mujin, he sends his like lawyer assistant lady.
Because I was gonna say, so when she's like caught, right? Before she got caught though, he's released. Mujin's released because they don't have evidence anymore because she threw away the knife. And then Mujin's in the car talking to the assistant. The girl assistant was like, oh, how did you like get her on your side? Because everyone was believed that she was like, she wanted him to go to jail, but then she was the one that threw away the knife, and the assistant was kind of confused. Like, how did Mujin get her on Mujin's side?
Oh yeah, because that's what they think. Yeah, that she's doing by throwing away the knife. Yeah. It's like, oh, she's helping him,
and he's like, yeah, I deceived her. That's why.
Yeah. So he let his guard down just a tad bit there, because he thought he was flat,
and he thought like she was so loyal to him, kind of thing.
But that was not the case. Yeah. She wanted to kill him with her own hands.
And he finds out because he gets out of he gets home, right? Mm-hmm. And he's at the gym, and that's where he sees Teji with the knife in his chest.
And that is when he
goes berserk. He goes crazy, insane.
You can see the fury in his eyes too.
Yeah. And I think he was like one of the last people that he was the closest with. Trust the most.
Yes. And that's why he goes crazy after that, because everyone who was close to him has betrayed him and left him.
And this is the only guy that he trusts, and he died. And then so he's just so mad, right? He's like burning the pictures that, like the vacation pictures that he was gonna send Jiwoo to. He was just like, why is everyone betraying me? Like, I've never betrayed anyone. Why is everyone betraying me? What have I done wrong, right?
Yeah, he sees, this is a big point, I think.
What? Wait, what is she saying, guys?
In his head, he views it as he's done no wrong. Right?
Yeah.
This is all he's ever known. This type of lifestyle. He even says it too. He's like, you either eat or get eaten.
Yeah, you're the predator or the prey.
So yeah, in his eyes, all the stuff that he's doing now is just for survival. He doesn't see it as wrong at all. His gang life.
So that's why he's so confused why everyone's betraying him. You know, he thinks he's like in the right,
and he's extra hurt too.
Yeah,
which I do in a way. Like that's why it makes the show so twisted. Because like in his defense, he has been betrayed. Like, these people are close to him, his brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, he's a bad guy, but he has no one else now.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, from Jiwoo's side, it's easy to see how twisted it is for her, you know?
Yeah.
And then Jiwoo's dad, too, from the beginning, it's like, did he ever actually care for Moojin? Because Moojin sees it as
Jiwoo's dad.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Did he ever?
I think he did. I think he did because it's a little different from what Jiwoo was going through because that's Jiwoo. She didn't know.
Like they go undercover
kind of thing. Like I've seen a lot of this.
And they spend a lot of time together.
Yeah, you're eventually going to be attached to that person, build a bond because you have to kind of like believe in a way, like I know in the back of your mind what your real motive is behind this whole thing, but to get to that point you kind of have to like play along with it, right?
Yeah.
You kind of
have to play the role well.
Yeah,
really like
to
immerse.
to play a role well and to kind of like deceive that person is you kind of have to believe.
You have to fully immerse yourself.
Yeah,
in the role. Yes,
in a way he's like.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think it definitely isn't on the same level as Jiwoo. How Jiwoo was close to him.
Yeah, because Jiwoo didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I think.
Yeah, and because like Jiwoo just lost her dad, and I think like in a way emotional bond, trauma bond,
He came in right when she was vulnerable, right when she needed a new father figure.
Yeah,
boom, there's a new father figure.
And Moojin was like the perfect like candidate, and then
and then
he's frustrated. Yes. So then he finds out that she's in jail, right? Jiwoo.
Yes.
So but he was like, hell no, I want her out of jail because like either I die or she dies.
Yeah. He says like one of them has to die for it to end. Jail isn't anything that they're concerned about. To them, jail is easy dub. Jail is not like a penalty or anything.
Yeah.
It's not enough consequence. It's death. You gotta die.
Yeah, I think because he was so emotional too. He couldn't live. He couldn't live until someone dies. Until either he dies or she dies. His assistant was like confused, like, bro, just leave it alone. Like she's in jail. Like why?
Just let her go to prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's so emotional.
See, both Jiwoo and Moojin,
wanted to kill each other.
Yeah, they're along this mindset of like, I have to kill them, not just send them to prison, right?
Yeah,
and then that leads to, Jiwoo, she tries to escape. Or Moojin sends someone, that secretary lady, to help Moojin.
Oh, she sends her to the hospital.
Yes, send her to the hospital. And that was her way of like escaping and not going to jail.
Yeah.
Because he sent her a message too, through the secretary lady. He was like, I want you to come to me. Come like kill me, basically, And then so that's when in the hospital she is still handcuffed because remember she's still under police custody.
Yeah, under arrest.
Yes.
Oh, at this time as well, this is when so everyone's monitoring her, right? She's still getting treated, but like there's still police out her door. But Pildo, part of the police people, gets a call that Captain Cha is waking up because like he's still in the hospital too.
Yes.
He's gonna go ahead and go to see Captain Cha, and he goes away. And then during this time, that's when Jiwoo gets out, right? She finds out.
So Pido finds out about Jiwoo's truth, and so he finally understands her perspective. Because up until this point, he was upset. He was like felt betrayed.
Yeah.
Why would you? He's confused. He's really confused.
Betrayed.
But then now he finally knows the truth, and he like
through Captain Cha.
Yes,
Captain Cha.
He runs to her right on time when she's trying to escape.
Yeah.
So because he understands her now, he helps her as well, and they leave together.
She's trying to get into the car, right? She's about to go to Moojin, right? And then he tries to stop her. He's like, hey, like stop. And then he's like trying to like reason with her, right? Like you're just emotional. And she's like, stop. Now you know why I'm gonna kill Moojin. So let me go.
Oh yeah, he stopped her that time.
Yeah. And then until some gang, I think it's Moojin's gang. I think it's yes. They try to jump him, and that's when they had to fight together.
They did.
Jiwoo and Pildo had to fight together to fight this gang off, and then somehow they had to ride together in the car and then drive away. And this is the part where
it gets a little spicy.
Oh, this is
a little spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah. So basically, like he takes her to this beach house because he
remembers one time. He was at her house, asked her like, oh, what's your hobbies? And then she's like, she couldn't think of anything. She's like, I like going to the beach.
Yes.
And
that stems from when she was younger. Her dad told her like, oh, like let's move to like the beach.
They would be at the beach like saying all this. And that's why she likes the beach.
And so he brought her there, and like there, like they talk together, and he understands her,
like her pain.
And then he tells her his side too, his story, and it's similar to hers, but he just took a different route. He didn't go with revenge.
Yeah.
He went with like, okay, this is the situation. I'm gonna go legal route and like help other people and catch these people. And so basically through all of that, he was able to convince her to not go the killing route anymore. So she's like agreed. She decided, like, you're right. Like, let's go back and clear my name so that like we can catch him properly. Because Pito also mentions like, this is what your dad would have wanted. You know, he would have wanted to catch Moojin properly. This and that.
And she's like, you're right.
Uh-huh.
And like she could see like someone that understands her, so she like agrees with him. You know, because she's like, at least he understands.
She's finally met someone.
Yes.
That is like understanding her and is genuine.
Yeah.
You know, but then he dies.
Yeah, sadly. So they're on the way to the cop station, and then
he gets
someone,
shot.
yeah, he gets shot.
I really do think some people could like argue like, oh my gosh, like that's so sad. She's finally happy. Why'd you have to kill him off? But I think it was needed.
Yeah, I think we were all confused. Like, why did Pilda have to die? Her only person that understood her to that level, like he had to die. And then you explain why.
Yeah, here's why I think he had to die. It was because for the whole story to be fully complete, like a full circle, she has to kill Moojin for the story to be complete. Because that's the reason she started in the beginning, was to find her dad's killer and kill him.
Because if she didn't, and like it would feel incomplete somehow. Like,
yes, the story just wouldn't be a full circle, right?
Yeah.
And because Pildo has now convinced her to go the other route of like prison, he had to die. If he didn't die, she would have continued with that route of like going to prison, sending Moojin to prison. But because he died, she went absolutely crazy. I feel like if anything, that motivated her in like her journey to kill Moojin too, you know, and that gave her strength too, you know, more of a push. It's not just her dad now; it's also Pildo as well that she's like going after Moojin for. And so then it gets to that scene where she goes to Moojin's place to kill him,
and then she beats up all these guys, the first level, and then she gets to the second level. So she has a gun, right? But she has like limited bullets, but then like she's very like skilled. But so she beats up all these guys in the first.
And low-key it was like level 1, level 2, and now it's like the boss.
Yeah,
like,
the final boss.
The final boss that you had to beat to get to Moojin, you know? And then this scene was like a full circle moment right here, a juxtaposition. It juxtaposes the scenes from the beginning. Because if you remember back at the beginning, she first meets up also in his room like this too, and she tells him like, I want to join your gang, I want to kill my dad's killer. He hands her a knife. And he's like, stab me, do it right now,
pretend I'm the killer, stab me. But she couldn't do it.
Yeah, she's not able to. But now he does the same thing. He's like, I bet you can't do it, and this and that, and he's like kind of pushing her too, and then she's able to do it. She pushes. With like her killing him, I was thinking, did Moojin towards the end
let her kill him?
Yes, like I think he wanted her to kill him. I think he wanted her to kill him in the sense that like,
why?
It would be fair.
Because in a way he cares for her, so he thinks it's fair if she kills him.
In a way, he kind of cared for everybody. You know, he's not just a pure evil monster. He did have those emotions, right? He did care for her dad, and he did care for her as well, and he cared for Taeju as well. So maybe in his head, he's like, oh, this is enough. Like he's kind of over it too, because remember, someone has to die, kind of thing, and then he's just like kind of over it,
and he decided he should die. You think?
That's my theory. This is just simply theory. I don't know. I think that like towards the end, maybe that's why I'm saying the temple was like a turning point. Maybe like between the temple and towards the end, he did have like ups and downs where like he thought that like, oh, I think like I should let her.
Because like if you think about it, like obviously Moojin would have won. He would have killed her if he wanted to. He could have killed her right there and then. Yes. But because like Jiwoo was injured AF.
Yeah, but I think,
and she's a girl.
Yeah, but another feasible thing that could have made it possible for her to kill him was he's also so emotional at the point. His thoughts aren't clear.
Oh yeah, he was drinking and like
so maybe his fighting skills weren't like A game. Maybe that's what it is.
I could argue with that, but because he was like letting her like, because like
that's what I'm saying. That's my theory. It's like he at the end was just like kind of over it. That's my thing.
He was emotional. Just was over it. Yeah.
Everything was a full circle moment. She was able to do what her dad couldn't do.
What?
Because Moojin says it too. Like, your dad wasn't courageous enough. This and that.
But I think she does.
Yeah.
She has it.
Overall, the show was very twisted. Lots of betrayal, left and right.
A lot has happened in 8 episodes.
Yes, but after all of that, finally we get to the end. Everything's full circle.
Yeah.
Is the show bingeable?
Yes and yes and yes.
Yes. What would you rate it? What'd you rate it?
A 10.
Yeah.
A 10.
Mine's like a 10 all the way. It's so good. Cinematography is beautiful. Music, casting, everything.
Yes.
If you like crime, thriller, it's a must watch. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.